just doing a short hop round to Stornoway today. It's only 6 miles, just round the corner, and I'll reprovision there. Hopefully there'll be a better supermarket with a few more fresh vegetables, because all I managed to get was some bell peppers. It's grey and chilly. It's supposed to be sunny later, fingers crossed. The other reason for going into Stornoway today is that the wind is from east-southeast, so that gives me the option of either going pretty much due north or south-east, possibly east-southeast, neither of which are directions that I want to go in. So I'll put myself into the harbour and wait until the wind blows in a better direction, basically. Otherwise I end up going back to where I came from on the mainland, which is kind of defeating the purpose, really. It's 10 hours of sailing for nothing. All of a sudden I spotted this white-tailed eagle swooping along, chasing some poor seabird, and then a second one close behind it. What they did was quite incredible, really. They chased this poor seabird. One of them, you'll see, forcing it into the water there, and then the second one swoops in and picks it up. And there he goes, carrying his hapless victim away to be consumed. So I've got my berth allocated right behind the lifeboat. Got my lines set up, bow line, midship line, and the stern line here ready to go. Fenders are all out on both sides. Starboard 2 in the berth, so port side fenders are high just in case there's a boat in there next to me. Almost there. There's the inner harbour around the other side of the wall over there. Be there in no time. And we're alongside. No drama. Welcome to Stornoway. Well, hey, I've got a haircut. Nice. It's nice to have a haircut. I have been doing a few maintenance jobs while I'm here. I've replaced the markers on the anchor chain. I just use bits of a sock cut into strips and tie them to the chain. So 1 for 10 meters, 2 for 20 meters, and so on. And they've been on there for over a year, and we're looking a little worse for wear. So I've just replaced all of those. And the next job, the temporary fix that I put in for the broken block on the main sheet, needs a slightly more permanent fix. As you can see, it twists because that block there can swivel, so it introduces a twist, and that creates friction which stops the boom from going out in light winds. That twist is caused by the winch, so when you take the line off the winch, it introduces a twist into it, which gradually makes its way up till it gets to the blocks there, and I can't have it doing that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap that block there for this block up here, because that block can't swivel, and that should fix the problem. Until I can get some more blocks, the chandlery here doesn't have any that are suitable. Well, that was an almost total failure. That block wouldn't fit on there, so that hasn't moved. What I've had to do instead is I've added a swivel on the end of the line, so hopefully that will stop it from twisting, but we shall see. I'll have to give it a go and see what happens. Oh well, fingers crossed that solves the problem for now. It's not perfect, but what in life is. Making my way up to Lews Castle, just a short walk from the harbour. Nice to be off the boat and moving about. Lews Castle was built in 1844 for St James Matheson, who a few years earlier had bought the entire island with money he got from the Chinese opium trade. There's a small museum covering life on the island, but by far and away the best part of the whole thing is the grounds. They go on forever and ever and ever. I walked for hours. Here's a few highlights. So I've left Stornoway, and no sooner am I outside the harbour than I can see this big group of birds circling round and diving into the water, which is a sure sign that there's a possibility of whales being present. And just like that, I discovered there are whales there. Curious seal, come to see what all the fun's about. dolphins. This is the first pod of dolphins I've seen this year that weren't several miles away, and that's the one really concerning thing for me. I haven't caught any mackerel either, and I don't understand why there's no mackerel, and I don't understand why there's no dolphins. I can only guess that the mackerel have been completely fished out of the waters around the UK, and so the dolphins have had to move on elsewhere. Really sad. Last year, everywhere I went, I had dolphins. Pretty much every single day I was sailing. Sometimes 3, 4, even 5 pods of dolphins in a day would come, and they play on the bow wave of the boat. These dolphins don't come anywhere near that close, and I haven't had any dolphins playing on the bow wave of the boat at all this year. It's really sad. I don't know what the cause is, I can only guess, but how incredibly strange for all the dolphins to have gone, and for those that are left, I'm just not interested in coming and playing with boats. So we're about a third of the way across, and still sailing, not resorted to the motor yet, unlike every other yacht I've seen which has been motoring. Although, as you can see, we're not going to end up here unless I tack, head back out and then tack back across again. So what I'm thinking is I might head into here, because the wind, according to the forecast, the wind is supposed to go south. I could come in here. Or I could tack and head north and come into here. Look, clash. It's a gorgeous day. Absolutely stunning. Mountains look extra impressive through the haze. I've decided, rather than keep going overnight, because it looks like the weather's going to turn a bit nasty at 4 AM, I'm going to go into Tarbet Lagoon, which is in the middle of these rocky islands here. And in order to get there in a reasonable time, I'm having to motor sail, unfortunately. Only for the last 8 miles, but we're going to go up through here. It will be low tide when we get there, and then into the lagoon. Now, main reason that I've decided to go in here is that the wind is going to change directions continually through the night. There's going to be northerlies, there's southerlies, there's easterlies. So This little anchorage here will give me plenty of shelter. Getting close. The wind died completely as I was coming in, actually not long after I put the engine on, so the sails are away. We haven't gone quite as quickly as I would have liked, so I'm going to arrive about an hour after low tide, but it's but at least it means that I'm going in on a rising tide. Hopefully the current is not too strong by the time I get there. And there's another whale. Seen more whales than dolphins. Handa Island here is a bird breeding colony, hence all of the nurseries of birds out on the water. Got to say, the channel is not the widest, so I'm going to have to concentrate going in. This should be fun. Unfortunately the sun's gone in. Sign that the humidity is rising. The weather's due to blow in during the night. I think we've got heavy rain forecast until about 10 or 11 in the morning, so we'll see what tomorrow brings. It's supposed to be milder, so the rain probably won't put me off. We'll see. Looks like I won't be alone. I can see a mast in there. We've come through the channel between the island and the mainland, and then the group of islands we're going to go into the middle of is those up ahead there. Look on the chart, you can see we're going to anchor in here once we go through that little gap. See the opening to go in starting to open up now. and I'm using the Antares charts as well as Navionics just to give my confidence a little boost. Just because the Antares charts are so much more detailed. So Mr. Yacht Club over there came out and complained. He wanted this anchorage all to himself. So I told him where to shove his anchorage, and I moved another 20 metres away, which is about as far as I could get really. Couldn't get any further away from the dipstick. It's the Eye of Sauron! Good night, everyone. Peace and fair winds.